That said, your experiences with your dad does not have to remain past.
Right.
It can still exist in the present, and you can still mentor that relationship. So what I did with him is I just felt this really huge pull to start working on his family history. I was entering in his pictures into Family Search. You can do that in Ancestry. But I felt like every time I did that, I was keeping his memory alive. I was re-experiencing him, right? The relationship was becoming stronger. And as I did that, I also learned stuff about my dad that I had never experienced. So it was healing to me. It was healing to not let his voice die, to not let the memory of him die.
Right.
Knowing that if I did this work, even his grandchildren who would never know him in this life because they were born after he died, would have a place that they could go to experience their grandfather, his past, what he loved, his pictures, his personality. It was all there. And so I felt in control of my grief at that point.
I had read this in a book once, and it just really hit home for me is the best way to describe ALS and how it affects you emotionally is that you feel like you're slowly being buried alive. It's like a little bit of dirt, like thrown on your limb, making it heavier, and some more dirt in your mouth, and meanwhile you're just trying to scream. And that's the thing, is you don't even have the energy to scream, to get out the anger, the pain that you feel. And so I guess that's what I would say, that I really want.
It's something that I've had this conversation with people before when they start with, I just can't imagine. And I usually respond, you shouldn't. It's actually a gift that you can't imagine how it really feels, because the pain in the moment will be enough.
Because people aren't interchangeable chess pieces. People, they are not replaceable, right?
Yeah. And I was going to say, in the same way that like if your husband just passed now, you'll find somebody else. You're like, okay, first of all, I don't want anybody else right now. And B, like that doesn't fill the hole or the loss of this other person. And I went all of my life, I think, not all of my life, a lot of my life, kind of having this idea of like, well, my mom can just get a new husband, but like I can't just get a new dad.
When we speak about things that we don't 100% know, we have to be really careful that we don't add the conjecture, right? Like God just needed her more in heaven. We actually don't know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? That might be a personal interpretation of the experience to try to lessen the shock or pain of it.
Yeah.
But it's not a fact. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Good Grief Believer podcast. I believe we grieve better when we share our experiences with others, and I am always eager to hear from other people about their unique grief journey. Please contact me if you would be willing to share your perspective with me as a guest on the Good Grief Believer podcast by emailing me at goodgriefbeliever@gmail.com. That's GOODGRIEFBELIEVER @gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you soon.